Hello everybody, my name is Thomas. Welcome to Extreme Tutorials. Today we will be doing uh, a web tutorial on how to make an HTML document. I can't do this via my computer. I tried doing it on computer like 3 or 4 times, but it won't work because every time I switch to a different screen, it clunks out on me. So I've been having trouble with it. So instead, we're going to take a different route. We're going to do this via my Android phone. I downloaded an app called Webmaster. It's only $2.99 on the market. If you want it for free, it's Webmaster Lite, but it's for Android users and for iPhone. I don't know too much about iPhone, so maybe look for something similar, but this is how to make a basic web document on, it's the same thing on a computer. If you have a computer, turn it on and open up your notepad. You're going to need your browser as well. And then once you have those open, then you start a new document and let's go from there. So basically, HTML. What is HTML? It's hypertext markup language. It is language that will render in a browser in order for you to see a website, basically. So it's the basic text and pictures the website displays on your computer. And transitioning, let's talk about the correct way to see HTML. There's a correct way and a wrong way to type this code in, because if you go to a website called W3 Schools, it shows you the correct way to render an HTML document. So let's get started on actually making the document. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up our document with something like this. We want to say exclamation point doc type HTML. Why are we doing this? This is the correct way to open an HTML5 document. And from there, I don't know why I did that. Sorry guys. From there, we want to hit the enter button. Now, what I'm going to open up now is what's called a tag. What is a tag? A tag is actually, they call it a node, but it's like a tree basically, and there's different nodes in the tree. And what they have different, what do you call it, attributes to each tag. Each tag does a different thing. So what this tag does, we're going to call it HTML. This is how you tell your browser, hey, we're opening up an HTML document. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to get used to this because I'm not doing it on the phone's keyboard. I'm doing it on a Bluetooth keyboard. So sorry, guys. So no, it's not HTML1. Hang on a minute. Let me go correct that. So HTML. We open a tag called HTML. Now, when you open a tag, you always close the tag. So how do we do that? We're gonna, it's gonna look like, like this. This is a correct closed tag. I'm gonna hit the X button here. Everything in between these two tags is what will be your website. So in here will go your nav, your body, different divs and sections which will be contained within these two tags. If this thing would stop blacking out on me. Next thing, we want to open a head tag. So say head like that, and then make sure you always close it. Make sure if you open a tag, you close the tag. That's the way you got to do it, because if you don't close the tag, it won't render properly in the browser. Sometimes it'll create an error message within the browser itself. So you want to make sure that you come on, stop it. As you open and close all your tags. Now this is a self-closing tag. This one does not need the like you see head with the greater than less than sign, and then you see the head with the greater than less than and the forward slash. You don't need that. This is a self-closing tag. So you just put meta. This contains all your metadata, which is author, you know, maybe where a website you got the information from, something like that. But right now we're going to do, I think it's font, basically. So we want to say charset, CHARSET, equals, quotes, as soon as I find them. This is a different keyboard than my computer. Gotta find the quotes, I think. I want to go here. Nope. No. Give me a second, guys. No, it's not doing shit. No. I don't know how to get the quotes to work on here. Control? I don't know what I just did. I think I just closed it out. Give me a second. Text and say, okay, cancel. Okay, got it back. You want to put the quotes in here. As soon as I figure out how to do that. Maybe I should have practiced this before I started. Something like that. It's quotes. You'll understand later. So it's capital UTF-8. Always capitalize the UTF-8 when you're in there, when you put it in, because it's just what it says in the W3 school website. So that's what the way that you want to open it up. So once that's done, you could put a title in. So we want to open up a title tag. We'll say extreme tutorials tutorials. As soon as I can learn to spell. I'm going to close the tag. And with that, you're done with the head tag. There is one more element that has to go into the head, but that's at a later date. We'll have to add a CSS link to the actual page, so that when you put color or background pictures, whatever inside there is CSS, you're going to tell, or even to stylize the HTML document, you have to put a CSS link to the page that you're going to link it to. So, but that's at a later date. So, I'm sorry. We are done with the head for right now. So, next step, open a body tag. Why the body tag? And the body tag will consist of the meat of the website. And here will go your nav, articles, pictures, video, whatever you want to put. A form, if you have some people call it a message boards. If you know what that is, everything that'll go into that will go into the body of the website. Even a form, if you're creating e-commerce, you might want to have a form that you're creating, so that people put their name, their address, everything like that in there. That'll go in the body as well. So what's in the body? Let's create a header or a header. Header. H1 stands for heading 1. It's a heading. That's what I was looking for. That's the word. There are 6 headings, H1 through H6. The higher the number, the smaller the heading. So if you have, let's say in heading, you have extreme tutorials. Okay, so that's your main overall heading for like a newspaper. If you would see a newspaper on the front of the newspaper, you would say like the New York Times. That's your main heading or your main thing. So you want it to be the biggest, right? And underneath the heading, like in a newspaper, you're going to have a paragraph. So mild paragraph, nothing too big. And you want to close your paragraph tag. And so that's that's your, let's say that's your first article, let's say, or you know, your first paragraph. But we have something else we want to talk about, but it's not as important. So we would say H2. H2. Reason why? It's important, but it's not as important as heading 1. So, you know, let's say we're talking about HTML and heading 2, right? And then just for the sake of it, we're going to create another paragraph and we'll say, hello HTML people, just for the lack of a better word. I don't know, but a couple exclamation points, you know. But then we close the paragraph. And basically, this is your first website. So it's very easy. It's not hard. So this section of the video, I'm gonna have to do a little bit different than what I would do on a normal computer. On a normal computer, I would go to save as, save the document as an HTML document. So in here, you could see that I named it tutorial.html. In your document, you can name it tutorial.html or what. It has to have .html, but anything other than that, you can name it whatever you want in front of .html. The reason why you have to put .html is because the computer or the browser, I'm sorry, have to recognize it as an HTML document and not a regular text document. It won't render it. So that being said, go to the computer. If you're on a regular notepad, just hit save as and save it as whatever you want, .html. And then after that, go to your browser, open up your browser, whether you have Firefox, Chrome, I don't even know, was it Explorer or Safari, I don't know, whatever. When you get to the browser, you get it open, you have a blank tab, you hit Control O, and it should bring up your files menu. Make sure where it says save as type, it's going to say text document. You want to click the bar below and it will say all files. Once you get to all files, it should show up within where you saved it at, and then you click the document, the HTML document, and it should render in your web browser. It doesn't matter if you have internet. It doesn't matter if your internet's on, off, or you know it's just not running at all. You should get this to render because it's an HTML document. Now, if you had something like a PHP document, which is a server-side document, it will not run unless you have a server. So that is a later date. So right now, you should be able to preview HTML document. On my phone, you can see that it emulated it. But on your computer, I'll make a different video where I'll show you how that works and you could see it on your computer. But for right now, if you're using your Android, this is how it works. All right, guys, see you in the next video.